It's the second day of the new year, and I'm about to get on my soapbox because I can. But first, I have to do my accounting over here. Parker dual fold nib. See which if these are still writing. Yep. Schaefer nib. Parker dual fold S pen Schaefer. Parker 51. I got rid of the 21, so the this is not supposed to be happening. I had a little I don't think that was a fail. I had a little God damn it. I had a little wardrobe malfunction. Oh. That was the 21. That was the failure. This is the 51. See? Did not fail. This one failed. And it's still up there. So, whatever. Eversharp green. Where is it? Right here. Good. Eversharp black. This is the one that I replaced with a different nib and feed because that failed once, but not due to its desk settedness. It was due to something else. So Schaefer green and Schaefer black. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. Triumph nib is here. Working. Schaefer black. Where is the Schaefer black? Oh, that's the one that also broke. Okay, so Parker 21 is a fail. So, oh God, this is broken too. I'm looking at the San Andreas fault. Can you see it there? That might have happened when it fell. I've been continually getting clumsy, and I wonder whether I have some sort of problem. Yes, I have all sorts of problems. Whether I have some sort of problem that's causing me to be clumsy, that's what I meant to say. I spilled water all over the place yesterday, right here, because my big old hand ran into it. Let me get some more coffee in me before I spill it. I found this thing in a desk when I turned it over to add better casters. Facture du client. So this was for the actual Eichenberg brothers, Quebec. Is this for the actual piece of furniture? 1956. No, the piece of furniture was made long before 1956. So it's for some other thing. So, soapbox. We are seeing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's really, really far away. But at least we're going to be having a president who doesn't think taking Clorox is somehow going to help you, and that you don't get ear cancer from windmills. So, and if we inch toward socialism from capitalism, think of how much better the world will be. I'm not talking about you and the world. I'm talking about the world, the earth. There'll be fewer, think this little thing right here. How many old growth sequoia trees were cut down to make this? Okay, the reason I took this out of our swap area in the building was clearly, as you can see, it's missing a piece. Wasn't in the bag. Hello? Nope, not in the bag. So it's missing a piece. Now, if I had a lathe, I could go out and lathe and a jigsaw and everything. I could go out to Washington State and find a 10,000 foot tall tree and cut it down and bring it home and bring a part of it home and then lathe that little tiny part. And have it be a puzzle, but I'm going to do something else with it. God, this is not a very well made one of these puzzles. There's all sorts of, there's more gaps between the little things, the little bits of wood. It's supposed to be tighter than this. Anyway, the point is, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something else with this. I'm going to make this into art. Now, I'm not talking about making it into art by, you see people on YouTube today. I know that they don't have a job to go to. They can't be a waiter anymore. They can't be a car salesman, or they can't work at the factory or whatever, wherever they're supposed to be. The non-essential worker now has time on his or her hands, and they decide they're going to, for some reason they have money though, they're going to go to the store and they're going to buy 25 or 30 big boxes of Crayola crayons. So they take them home with them. Where's my old ink? Yeah, I'm wasting. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying, and I'm wasting a little bit of ink, but maybe I'm saving a tree in the long run. So they buy all of these color crayons, thousands of, or whatever the number is, 64 times 12 equals some number. And then they somehow wrap them up in a big rubber band and then pour gallons of polyurethane through them and then put it in their lathe and router or whatever machinery they have. And after whatever it is in real time, I don't know, but after 3 minutes of YouTube time, voila, it's a beautiful vase. And I use the word beautiful has about 5,000 quotation marks on either side of it, because it's fugly. It's fugly at best. Yes, it's kind of cool for like 2 seconds. You see that it's cool. Now, it doesn't have to be a vase. It could be a guitar. I've seen them made into guitars. Or I see, this huge, beautiful, albeit that it was dead, maybe, tree trunk that's rotted on the inside, and they somehow cut a slab out of it and then pour gallons of urethane in it, polyurethane in it, and it's a beautiful coffee table or dining room table. And yes, it might be beautiful, but... And that one's almost forgivable, except you're still cutting down rainforests to get your polyurethane and plugging in your sander and your router and all this other shit to make this table that isn't needed. Meanwhile, on the side of the road, any side of any road you drive down, you'll see 5 or 10 tables being thrown out that are a lot stronger than this one, especially if they didn't come from IKEA. IKEA is one of these companies that makes things that should be thrown out, but before they do that, they shouldn't have even been built. So, to this. Before I completely put this all back together and put it back in the thing, because someone else might have an idea for it. Maybe they want to see if I can take this thing apart. See if I'm smart enough to take it apart. No. It's supposed to be easier than this. I've taken out, there are 2 pieces that have been removed. It might be the fact that it's sort of bent like this. It might be that this got wet, which is entirely possible, and the things don't work as well as they should. Come on, this looks like it wants to go somewhere. I have a headache. So my 3/4 roommate and I were having dinner last night, and we were talking about how doomed we are. And being doomed, you know, the ice caps are melting. Yeah, I know you don't believe it. You think it's perfectly fine. We are causing it, you and I, and the person that made this. Not the person that made this. They're long dead. But anyway, we're talking about carbon footprints and what my carbon footprint is. And my carbon footprint really is, right now, almost everything I own was made long before I was born. And almost everything that I wear is secondhand. Come on, are you going to come out or not? Really, this is really annoying. It's supposed to slide out now, but because it must have gotten wet. Yes, it did get wet. Otherwise, that would slide right out. Anyway, we were talking about carbon footprints, and I sort of said that my carbon footprint, I think, is pretty small. I don't have a car any longer, and when I did, it was a second-hand car, and I don't buy new fountain pens. I use old ones. I buy new ink sometimes, but oftentimes I use old ink. This is really shitty. Well, what I'm going to do when I'm done toying with this is I'm not going to throw it away. That would be bad. I'm going to find a use for it. In fact, that's what I wanted to do with this. I thought by this time I would have made something that didn't involve polyurethane. As you know, I love... Oh, God, that's awful. I love finding pieces of cardboard and turning them into fish or village idiots or other things, and I thought, what can I turn this into? That would be kind of neat. There's a face. Do you see a face? Probably not. Here, let me show you this. Can you even see what I'm doing here? That's a face right there. I see it better from my angle than you do on yours, but this is part of a Oster what are those things? They're blenders that has been sitting in the hallway of our building for days, and I think it was meant to be brought out to the trash or something, or the place where I found this, and the person got a phone call or whatever, so it ended up being forgotten there. So I just posted on our building's Facebook page that if they want it, it's theirs for $1 million in unmarked $2 bills. It's supposed to be easier. This is supposed to slide. Okay, come on. Anyway, I like finding things and trying to figure out a way to make them into something else. They're little challenges that are fun. I use my brain, and I don't need to chop down a rainforest to do it. Now, the thing that I do, my carbon footprint is almost all right these days dealing with electricity. Almost everything I own has to be plugged in these days. I have a Victrola that doesn't need to be plugged in, but what am I supposed to do now? This is supposed to slide. No, the big ones don't move, beer. It's one of these little ones is supposed to move. But because this fell in the toilet or someone brought it in the bathtub with them, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, it's not that piece. Does that one want to move? It's not that piece. I think it's like this one has to slide out, or that one. There, finally. God, these are... If you have one of these puzzles, do not drop it in the toilet or put it in the windowsill next to the leaky window or on the radiator after you dried it off, or microwave, or wherever else you might have. Okay, I've got it that far. Is that as far as it's going to go? Yes, that's as far as it's going to go. So that means something else has to happen. Does that go back out the other way? Well, anyway, my thought was, I was hoping I would have been finished with this and been done with it and done all sorts of fun things with it, but clearly you see that I'm struggling to get the thing apart. And it's, again, not supposed to be this difficult to take it apart. Putting it together is supposed to be the difficult part. But I thought I would make little sculptures out of it. I love building blocks, and I hate Legos. I love building blocks. I like Tinker Toys. But blocks like this that are shaped are interesting because, you know, they come with data. There's information in these things that allow you to make something kind of interesting. Whereas just cubicle blocks are maybe less interesting in that way. I have a headache. So I have a desk that's a Victorian desk that I'm moving over to my pen repair area here. It's on wheel. I'm adding more robust wheels from IKEA. They were being thrown out, and I thought, well, I can use them. I did have them on something, and they immediately broke, but not the casters, but the screws that I used were not sturdy enough for the task. So I'm going to use better screws this time to hold them to the bottom of the table, the desk rather, so that I can have yet another surface to clutter. I did have the desk of which I speak was part of my computer area, and it's too pretty a desk to be covered and not seen. So I couldn't keep it there any longer. I did get another desk from someone who was moving out, and it would have ended up in the dumpster. No one would have wanted it. It was an old computer desk, I think, from back when computers were the size of a mobile home. And it's perfect for my use. I have a Wacom tablet, Cintiq, and I've got a computer, big screen, Apple computer thing, and I'm able to more easily use it without, I had these things jury-rigged, with bungee cords and string and all sorts of stuff holding it together, and consequently it was very difficult, very precarious to move. It was on casters, but shitty casters, and every once in a while I needed to get a book from the bookshelf behind it, and I couldn't do it without fear of it all come crashing down. So now it has this big, beefy, robust platform, and I'm able to breathe a little tiny bit more easily. Okay, how many options are there? I can't do anything with the big ones, right? This is like, I'm better at this. I'm better at this than it looks. because again, everything's warped. Anyway, I was going to make all these little abstract sculptures for you, so you could add to shopping cart for $1 million in $2 bills. Well, oh, that's the one maybe I'm supposed to push it out the other way. No, I can't push it out the other way. Well, let's try it. No, it doesn't go out anymore. It's supposed to be, no. Aha. No. Yes, no. Pull this out. Push that over. No. I'm sure that half of you have already figured this out. Like, why is Pierce so stupid? So what do you think about these people that take that cut down a rainforest, no, they don't cut down a rainforest, but they buy a product that has already been rainforested, and then they get other products that also have been rainforested and then make something useless like a guitar made out of colored pencils, when the colored pencils could have been used to make beautiful art, or even shitty art. Yeah, I know we've got paper, then you're cutting down a rainforest to make paper. See, we're doomed. We are doomed. Capitalism requires us to cut down rainforests every fucking day. Pardon my goddamn French. And I think that there should be a better system that, in whether it's socialism, but better understanding of what we do every time we buy a container of water, a plastic container of water at the store because we're too fucking lazy to turn on the tap. We all don't live in Flint where turning on the tap it will kill us, but we do live where, in some of us are lucky enough to live where water is not polluted by, how was it polluted? By capitalism. And not to say socialism and communism doesn't pollute the water either. I'm sure that there's water pollution everywhere, but we make more money if we just flush our waste products down the toilet or contaminate the water table, Mr. Ford. Contaminated, I don't give a shit, he'd say. It seems to me No. I'm looking at all of I'm actually looking at it, not just forcing things left and right at the moment. This is supposed to go out. Both of these. Both of them. But this... Is that stuck or what? Where's my little hammer? Let's see if this works. I don't have my little hammer handy, but see? That's the piece. Oh, I just broke it. But that did move, but it also, I broke that. So, thank you. There. I guess this is stuck together. This is stuck together. But there we go. So now, let's pretend. What can I do to make art out of this? Do you see a face there? I do. But that's just me. There's a face. Big fat face. That's a complicated piece. So, you know, here's a muscle man flexing his muscles. I guess that's on this way. Anyway, this will, unless I can think of something really, really clever to do with this, this will end up in the dumpster. And I know if I throw this away in the dumpster, I'm going to say, oh my God, I wish I could have made earrings out of these two. So I'm not going to throw them out. There's a friend of mine from Singapore who, whenever I show him something that I recently added to my house, he doesn't understand. What's wrong with you? What planet are you from? But I find it kind of interesting to collect things and decide what else they could be used for. You know, I might need to start a fire, and this is perfectly good kindling. Maybe. Maybe not. Earrings. I could put these together like this, just like that, and then buy 8 gallons of polyurethane and get my lathe and turn it into a sphere and then plug some holes into it, and it would make it a bowling ball. How about that? A bowling ball with a Chinese puzzle in it. You'd be the only one on your block. $1 million. Add to shopping cart, and I'll make one for you. See what's happening? I don't know what's causing that. Why can't my fingers hold on to things anymore? My finger, there's another face. I see a face. Here, let's do this. Does that even fit? If this was a real puzzle, it would fit. Does this one fit? There, that one fits. Okay, now we need a mouth. There, heavy-browed. Take me to your leader. Now, I don't know how many rainforests I cut down in making this 33-minute video. And I don't know how many rainforests you cut down by watching it. Let me know. Write your answers below. Those of you that understand how math works, figure it out. That's one of the things that I don't quite understand about economics is how do you value the economic worth of something? Let's say cutting down a tree. Okay, yes, the lumberjack, Paul Bunyan here with his axe, he cuts down the tree. He gets money for that. And the tree dies, kaput tree. And then, the trucker and the truck bring it to the mill where it's cut down, and other people get money, and then it's the product that's made, the pieces of wood go to the factory that makes the product, and then the product and another truck and another person and more money goes to the store that has to be built with more money, and the clerk is hired to stand behind the cash register until someone else that got in their car after they cut down their tree for their job or whatever they do, to go into this store and to buy this puzzle made of that tree So when you talk about the loss of, or the economic thing here, where do you stop counting the money? Let's say that this factory right here, or whatever was this part of the equation, let's say they use some sort of chemical that causes cancer, and it's within the allowable. It's understood that this chemical may cause cancer in laboratory animals or whatever, but so then this person gets cancer, and then it goes over here to the hospitals and the nurses and the doctors and the chemotherapy, radiation stuff, which involves more trucks and more mining and more rainforest and more trees being cut down. So normally when you think of a job or a manufactured product, whether it be the tweezers or this pen, when you're talking about the economic value of, or the losses incurred by not cutting down that tree, how far do you go with that? This pen doesn't have any ink in it, which is why it keeps going down. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. I've got another 3/4 of a mug of coffee that should have been in me long before I turned on this device. I'm just waiting for 6 o'clock to roll around so I can start my power tools. Now I need to drill 4 holes to attach these shitty IKEA casters to the bottom of a desk made in 1890. I can hear all of you saying, how dare you even think of doing that to a desk made in 18... It's a Victorian desk, for God's sake. No one's going to see the holes I make. Here's the desk. It's upside down. There's the casters. I know it's ugly. I can tell. I know. But it will make it easier for me to get in and out of my little cage. This is my little pen repair nook. And when I'm not in there, I can shove this desk all the way back, and I can have a dance. I can have a party. My house can be gravity. I can have a party again. I can't have a party now. There's no way in my house that people can be 6 feet away from each other, whether they're wearing a mask or not. There's hardly room for a person plus a mask in my house. Oh, here's the new, see this big thing here? This is a Wacom Cintiq, and that's my computer there. And underneath this conglomeration was that desk, and now it's on this fugly but industrial sized desk, so I'm able to move it around. By the way, this is not made for children, but as you know, I look for boxes in the recycle areas in order to make interesting things out of paper. Little fish, or, well, I'll just show you fish. I can barely walk in here. Don't go away. Pizza boxes made of totem pole. This is the Tower of Babel. There's Jeff Bezos and his minions from the Amazon boxes. Okay, what was I going to do? Oh, so as you can see, I do things with cardboard boxes. And I find that a lot of people are buying this, that, and the other. And the anal trainer kit from Colt. I don't know. I'll pretend I don't know. No, I don't know who had that. I'm reminded of that Monty Python sketch where they were blackmailing people and they would start with a low price and they would add more information about the scandal until they got a call from the would-be owner of the anal training kit. Anyway, I don't know what I was going to make out of that, but something. Pearls. There's a tuba, sousaphone actually, a sousaphone. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got off topic, but I do like finding things and turning them into art without the use of polyurethane. And I don't go to the store and buy 25 Colt anal training kits and put them in a bucket and pour polyurethane in them and turn it into a guitar. So, but if I found a gallon of polyurethane on the side of the road, plus, some old bananas that were not going to be used for anything, maybe I would turn it into something. What do you say? Silent as ever. Bye.